Hi guys, just having another go at popper fishing on top water. I've moved to the boat, then I can get a lower angle with the rod, and we're just very similar to where we were fishing before. A little bit close to the lilies there, but we are getting bites now. And we're actually, like where we are, we've not travelled far. We're saving on petrol or kerosene, whatever you guys use. We're just located in the boat at these lilies, and we're just fishing the edge of them. Maybe not that far out, but sorry guys, I'm having trouble with my mouse. But you can see the action, the lure puts, you know, it's putting a good wake on the water. And we're in again, guys. So it's a little bit short, little stream, just showing you what I've been working on. You know, in the boat you can have the angle a bit lower, you know, and get that popper splashing. When it comes up real close, you can see the pike come and attack the lure, and that's pretty cool. Also, when you start, they swim up and have a look at it. Still bumps it a bit too fast for me. Let's see if we can get me there. The more you point it at them, the less it's dragging it through the water. You put it at the side, it's moving it about 1 foot to 2 foot. There we go. And again. It's good fun, definitely is. Hopefully we don't catch anything too big, but we should be okay to get all the pike in. Don't know how big the pike go on here, but I do have, there you go, two pulls through and we're in again. And it's not showing anything on the power bar, so I've done this before. Can you see how it's acting like there's a fish on? I don't think there's a fish on this. This is that sort of ghost fish I mentioned. Oh, it's a very tiny shell or something. So weird's going on. Watch it, see? Very strange. Bit of a glitch that I think in the game, that, because we definitely had a bite. I suppose it's the one what got away again. Been having one of them about 2 or 3 times a day, whether it's Maggie or pretty rhythmic, you know, trying to. Try that. I've just adjusted all my 22 points of my skill trees and even them out a bit, but I've took a little bit off the casting to get a couple more on the cage feeder and bottom feeding setup. I took a bit off the float fishing as well. So see that for a bigger wake on. Maybe it wants it slow, you know, just see the ripples how they widen now. Then you can go fast and put the little ones on like that. You can also speed up the retrieve. We've done all right with that. We'll just swap it. I've bought 3 up to now of that type. I've got the one what's like a fish colour, and the red one what's probably like the salmon, the trout colour. Is it a char or something like that? In the clear lake. What speed are you on? We're on 10. Let's speed it up a little bit. I want to try and let you see the wake and see the fish coming up, but it's a bit awkward with the angle. You know, and if they move on, we'll move around to next reeds on the lake and have a few casts there. We don't do it, we'll move on. And that's the sort of day you usually have when you're, you know, just cruising around in a boat. Trying to get a bit closer to that. The thing about being in the boat is, except for being so close to the dock, that is you've got like, when you're in the, when you're more in the water, you've got like 360-degree fishing angle. Must get a new mouse. It's really struggling. See if I can get a bit closer to them reeds without getting stuck in them. That's a cast. And you lose the thing, you just stop it again and start up. Bit too jerky that. Get a little bit. Let's slow it down a bit again. It's going with the current of it, can you see it? It's pulling it down river with it. Okay. That's a nice pike, isn't it? You know, if we can get them coming every cast, that will soon. We went this way, then. Just. Being took with the current again, which is great. I hope they do bring fly fishing in. You know, you could just actually cast it on the currents and let it go round. I've not had any tack under the boat yet, which they did. They were taking under the reeds. I love how it wakes the water. You know, it's smart. Try it this way. Sorry about the mouse. I'm fighting it here. You can imagine something coming. What's lurking just at the edge of them reeds, you know. Grandpa pike. Maybe moves once or twice a month for a big bream or something. Well, a bit dark now. I don't know how they perform in the dark. Well, I'm glad to be able to show you catching a few, you know, off the top. Wow, I must get this way sorted. I do apologise. Just about to see it up there. What you guys can see, it's quite dark for you guys, isn't it? I don't know if that won't help you, will it? It's not shining on the water. Okay. I'll try and cast over there. I think that's the brightest part for you. Hopefully the moon will come out soon and allow you to be able to see. Hopefully you can see that on the water. You can see the line, I think, that's being dragged through. We're getting a walking the dog notification, so. Drop the angle a bit. Got a sort of change. Oops, that's in the reed. Hopefully we don't get stuck. Bit fast now. I'll press and shift then to get it reeling a bit faster. Let's have a look. I think I'll leave it here, guys, after this cast. Try and find another mouse, and I don't think you can see what's going on. But we won't have to go away the fishing. Just pulling it a bit too far into. Maybe there's a better way of doing the. I'm going to try right and left at the same time. Right, that's right and left button pressed simultaneously together. Alright, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, if you speed up the speed, it will put a bit more action on the 1, 1, 1, 1. And it's not actually dragging it too far, you know, because it's dropping the line back and not bringing too much of the line. So you can probably go a bit more than that. And get it like softer. Definitely changes it, but you'll only know when one's producing fish and the other one's not, you know. You can see it's not actually coming out of water though, which is it's better. Okay, that's a bit better. I'll speed it up a bit more. Same idea. Just mess about, you know, try different techniques, see what you can, see how you can change it up. I see it, that's what it's just at the side. You can see the ripple going into the moonlight. I haven't actually caught anything about, not actually fished top water at night actually, so I'm not 100% it's a viable method until obviously you start catching and trying your spots. Just on the edge of that weed. You would think the predators would have a, you know, a be out at night and that, so hopefully we can catch the sander and the perch and the pike. I would think so. Well, let's try just a bit surface. Don't like how that one. Oh, hold on. I don't want to make it too long without any fish turning up. Should have probably ended it before it went into night, but you never know, we might land on them. We are at the end of our line though, so we have to be careful we don't hook into the monster. And not got the this is just on the surface doing like a loop, not a loop, the loop, it's like going up and down. When it stops it sinks, so when you, it's like a, I suppose like it's probably like the opposite to a diver. Instead of diving, when you bring it to you, it surfaces, so no, it's quite, I think you have to bring it back a bit faster than that, but you can see how it's lifting. Slow it down a bit and do a continuous retrieve. Something like that. You can just see it on the surface, coming to the surface, dropping. Oh, one's coming there. You see it come up then, that one else. We'll just let it catch up with it then. Maybe it's sign of being a little bit too fast. It managed to catch up with us, didn't it? Hold it a little bit higher, then it should come a bit higher in water, I think. It's left in a bit more being the higher rod tip, you know. I think so anyway. God, really nice. So yeah, we've got fish there. Let's get back on the plugs and thingy. I think I want to try that one again. Try just a normal straight retrieve, see if it puts a work on. Just speed it up with the, it's not actually marking it as speed. Have you seen it? Oh, there it is, speed up. That's true. That's just touching the dash. Sorry guys. It's just pressing the shift. It speeds up. We've not done very well. We will caught one fish during the night, but it's hopefully the start of a new day in the morning might bring some fish in. Oh, we got one. It's a tiny one. Press shift, it will bring them fish in faster. You know. You got a chub. That's nice. I'll have to watch that back after I can't remember whether I were reeling in or just have some more food. Couldn't remember whether I was reeling in or doing Stop and go then. This is a good recipe for long stamina when you're digging or spinning a long time. If you watch it go, once the levels go up, it started pretty low. All the levels are nearly full now, you know. So let's see if we can entice. I must have cast a bit further that one. That's at the end of the. Oh, I know what will have happened. If you cast, if you're not reaching where you're casting and you can, you're upstream, you can let it drift in the water, so it gives you a bit more distance. You know, I'll actually try that. I'll cast for the fort or castle, whatever it is, and I'll let it go down. Well, I can't actually. Being a bit silly, I'm at the end of my line. This is the more expensive. In fact, I've not showed you the gear over. This is what I'm using. This is the dearer sort of line. It's over the 100 metre, but I lost it on a big fish, and I only have 20 metres left on the reel. So hopefully, I'm just getting the use of it, sort of thing, bringing average fishing, and you know, I'll get it to low and then just discard it. I've recently just repaired that. As you can see, most of the levels are well up on the. Having said that, I've only repaired that yesterday, and it's 8% more again. You could probably, fish that spot and then take the bail arm off and let the lure actually go downriver and bring it back again. You know, I don't know if it'd strike on the floor. It would in real life. Like, you know, if it were a fly, you'd probably put it out, or feed it out. You'd probably feed it out to the speed of the floor. But you could also put it out on the thing and flick the line upriver a bit so that it doesn't drag. You keep flicking out there and just let it feed round. Gosh, this mouse is a pain. Yeah, I just like go around on a loop, see if that can bring anything. Yeah, that seemed to feel funny there. Got it straight now, so we'll start moving it back. Just speed up a look at that. Yeah, get the tip of it. No. Get the side of that if we can. That's a big, so okay. If it's, that's that same thing again. You know? So we'll lick up. It is lick up, I can't see it. I'll have to watch them back. They do look like it's like a phantom bite. So. See if you can get near that reed without getting stuck in it. Slide a bit of line out right between to that reed. There you go. Got one. Just what I thought would probably be one. Nice one. It's a bit awkward to cast to that, so that's a good way again. The you know, that's just casting to me where they would be. You know, just that edge of that reed without actually. This probably weed just under the water there, but we're just dragging across the top, so we shouldn't really get stuck in that stuff. We're just coming across some loose surface weed, but this is where I think we'd be in. You know, you could actually add it forward and back on the, you know, forward and back on that sort of line where the reeds are. Yeah, just the edge of that weed there, you'd expect there's something in there if you were working that line. No, good trail. That's in the lead. Right now. Try that with a different colour. Oops, so we don't get stuck in the weeds. that are jumping out of the water. That's a bit farther out.